Chapter 2. 5 days later, on a Thursday, Nina and I set out for a fun hunt at the beach. We both called in sick at our respective offices. It's 7 in the morning, and we hoped for the filthy rich to go walking at this time. We are here since half an hour, and so far, all we could collect was a rough 500 rupees. Irritated and tired already, we walk, hoping to find some luck. I really hate these people. How stingy, Nina says, irritated. Hey, come on, don't lose hope so early. We'll find someone, I say, assuring. We walk past a few more people, and far away, guess what we saw? Is there a shooting going on out there? Nina asks, pointing to a crowd of people, some of whom looked familiar. Looks like that. Our luck seems to be working. Come on, let's hit them for money. Really? You think they'd be ready to donate? I totally don't believe they would. But Nina forces, and I go with her to the crowd of cine stars. They're not even going to let us meet the stars, I'm sure. We walk closer, and just like I expected, someone stops us. Who are you? Uh, Public? I say. As you can see, shooting is going on, and the public are not allowed to disturb. No. Shooting was going on a few minutes back. All I see now is all of them relaxing. The guy stares back at me, obviously irritated. Look, we won't take too long. Just let us see a few of them and we'll be gone in a few minutes. Not too long. Seriously, woman, this is no time for selfies or fan talks. No, we're not here to get selfies. We are from an orphanage and we'd like a donation from any of them. Please, we won't be much of a trouble. Please, sir. Nina pleads, and the guy scratches his head. Someone from behind him calls out to him, and when he turns, we see the director of whatever movie they're doing. He's a pretty famous guy. I don't remember his name though, but definitely rich. Wait here, he says, and murmurs something to the director, probably about us. A few minutes later, the guys wave at us to come over, and surprised, Nina and I walk to the director. Hi, Nina says excitedly while I smile at the director. Big fan, sir, she says, shaking his hand. He tells me you're here for a donation, the director asks. Yeah, we're from an orphanage called The Home. I start. It's not that big or famous, so you might not be knowing it. There are about 70 kids, and we are here to collect funds for the children. He nods, considering what I said. I get a little hope that he'd be willing to donate something. So I decide to go on and ask him how much he would give. So, sir, if you'd like to help us, I stammer. Can you donate, sir? Nina comes to the rescue. He takes a minute to think, and my heart races. Nina, I could see from the corner of my eyes, has her fingers crossed. Now there are a few more standing near the director. I don't know their designation, but I'm sure they're some renowned people behind the camera. So I hope at least one of them would come forward for donating. And then they all look at each other and talk something indistinctively among themselves, and I feel myself crossing my fingers. The tension is increased now. Okay, the director starts. We'll write you a check. Is that fine? Nia and I smile brightly. Absolutely, sir, we say in chorus. Now that's what you call luck, I think to myself. He picks out his checkbook and tears a sheet off the checkbook, and just as he is about to write on it, someone calls him from behind. Karthik, the voice says from behind me. He walks forward and stands in front of me and Nina. It's the hero of the film. Not just any hero, but Josh Evans. The one I love. I'm a great fan of his. I feel my jaw drop. Oh my gosh. Show me, he says. Now he's told something before that and I haven't listened. Of course, I still couldn't believe my eyes. It's Josh Evans. Christ. Sorry, I say. I want proof that an orphanage as such truly exists. Show me a proof, he says, his hand held out. So I've always dreamt of this guy, but never once imagined he would be asking me for something. At least, not the proof of the home existing for real. Maybe he could ask me to show the small scrapbook I've made when I was a teen, with pictures of my favorite actors. Honestly, his pictures dominate. It takes a minute for me to compose myself. Proof? I ask, holding my shit together. What kind of a proof? I don't know, anything? So I meddle with my bag, dig in deep, and Nina does the same. We pick out a few photographs of the kids and show them to him. He carefully sees them, and I can't help but admire how handsome he looks in person. So, you see, I am busy staring at him again when he asks me something. Again. Sorry, I say. Where's your head, girl? He snaps. Sorry, I repeat. I said, how do I believe that these kids belong to the orphanage you mentioned? I mean, I accept that these pictures are taken at an orphanage, but how do I know it's the one you're talking about? And how do I know whatever money you're collecting will go to this orphanage? How do I know you are really who you say you are? I blink. Why is he being rude? He's supposed to be the sweetest actor. How do I know you aren't cheating us? I mean, you could be some commoner who has no link with this orphanage you're talking about. How do you expect us to believe you? And what is the name of it again? The home, Nina says, but his eyes are completely fixed on mine. Oh, how I wanted his eyes to be fixed on mine. But now that he really has his eyes fixed on mine, all I feel is rage for him inside me. What does he mean we aren't who we say we are? The home? His eyebrows shoot up and he chuckles. Seriously? I don't have any doubts anymore. You most certainly aren't from any orphanage. And we aren't fools to give you any money. Here's a tip though. Next time, choose a believable name for the orphanage. He snaps. What? I feel my cheeks heat up. What do you mean? I mean, you're totally lying. And you're caught. I scoff. Okay, believe what you want. He didn't ask you for a penny. Oh, wasn't I clear? Oh, sorry. I meant none of us are fools to believe you and donate to an imaginary orphanage. I will not let any of them do it. My hands form into a hard fist. Anger rises in me so much that I would slap him in the face if I stand here a minute longer. I grab Nina by her hand and storm away, stopping a few steps ahead, realizing something. I walk back to him and take out a card from my bag. I throw it at him and walk back to Nina. I'm gone in less than a few minutes. What did you throw at him? Nina asks as she gets her bike out of the parking lot. A visiting card of our home. Let the jackass see it. Hey, he might have believed after seeing it. Why didn't you wait? I snort. He's just going to ask another question, and this time I wouldn't have controlled my anger. She kicks the bike to life, and I get on it. Like I said, Nina, the rich don't give a damn about us, and definitely not the skinny people. They would spend crores rather on a party or a stupid dress for the party than help someone really in need. And they wouldn't dare to ask a single question about the money they spend on luxuries. Luxury is more important to them than the poor's needs. Later that day, Nina and I sit with Sister Maria. We had told her about our plan and the way the cine people, especially Josh Evans, ill-treated us. She was initially mad at us for not telling her and also for making such an expensive plan, but eventually we cooled her down. We so want to make the kids happy, and in front of their happiness, none of this seemed big. But as far as Josh is concerned, I never expected it from him. I knew that Cine people would be least interested in helping us, and I also made my mind that they wouldn't. But to my surprise as well as shock, the director Karthik had immediately come forward to help us, and so did the ones with him. Who was he and why did he have to pop up in the middle of a sweet transaction? And hell with him if he believes or not. But he didn't have to stop the others. I mean, it's not his money they were giving away or anything. Seriously, who is he and who does he think he is? I wonder out loud. He's Josh Evans and thinks he's an actor, Nina says, trying to joke, but it only makes me more furious. Hell with him. Whoever he is, who gave him the rights to question us? And by the way, he's such a shitty actor. Really? I thought you were crazy about him. Like hell I was. Nina shoots me a look and I sigh. Okay, okay. Yeah, I like him. No, scratch that. I used to like him. Not anymore. Moreover, who likes him for his acting? He acts like crap. It's the good looks that's keeping him sailing. Else he'd be drowned. He's not that bad. He's not the best, yeah, but he definitely not the worst. Seriously. Wait, now why are we debating on how good an actor he is? He's a pig in real life. That I agree. But don't you think he had a point there? What? We could have been someone faking it all. I mean, people do anything to get money, and we know how true that is. What are you suggesting, Nina? I cock an eyebrow. No, I just mean that he was right to ask for a proof. They're rich. They have to be careful or they'd be robbed of all their money. I scoffed. I agree that the way he did it was not right, but not right? Seriously? That guy didn't believe us even after we showed proof, remember? I'm almost yelling at her. M, you and I both know it was not a proper proof. Like he said, it could have been pictures of just any random orphanage. What's the proof of us really belonging here? Nina, I can't believe you're supporting that guy. I'm yelling now. Ah, you too, Sister Maria cuts in. Quit discussing about it. Concentrate on what to do next. Ask me, I would suggest you drop the plan. We'll have the Christmas day we usually have. Simple and cheap. And that's why we wouldn't ask you, Nina says. Also, till last year, you didn't have me. Now that you do, you'll surely have a different and wonderful Christmas. Okay? And yeah, Nina is helping me too. I wink at her. Sister Maria hugs us both and leaves the room. I'm sorry if whatever I said hurt you, Nina says, head hung low. Hey, I place my hand on her shoulder. Sister Maria was right. We don't have to waste time talking about that jerk. We have better things to worry about. Like, what is our next plan? I seriously don't know. My plan has failed once, and I don't think it would work hereafter. You were right. This is not a good plan. We should come up with something better. As of now, our brains are too messed up to think of something. At least mine is. Give me some time and I'll try thinking of a way out. Also, we have to be at work tomorrow. Are you working this Saturday? She nods. You make a plan, M. We've got time. We just need a plan. Take your time and come up with something good and something that would work. I nod. Just then, Christina, one of the kids from the home, come to our room. Nina Sissy, come see what Grace and I have done. Her eyes are sparkling with excitement. Yeah, what is it? She asks. Come see for yourself. Am I not invited? I ask from behind. Of course you are. And I follow Christina and Nina to wherever Christina was taking us. She walks into her room and there is Grace sitting with papers shattered all around her. What mess have you done? I ask. It's not messes, it's artwork. Grace and I have done a few paper jewelry. Oh, really? Nina asks and walks closer to Grace, and I follow. We look at the surprisingly beautiful works these little hands have made. I mean, seriously, they're only 12 and their hands have made such wonderful things. It is paper earrings. Man, how beautiful and perfect it is. I stare awestruck at the earrings. They are professional. These things are awesome, I say. Yeah, Nina's face is not as surprised as mine. Aren't you surprised to see this? I was when I saw it for the first time. They've been doing all this for a while now, and really, they're mind blowing. What do you mean, quite a while? Have they done a lot of these? A lot. Not only this, the others have done a few other interesting things too. Like what? They've been working on clothes. I mean, not stitching or anything. They just do some embroidery or stoneworks over the already stitched clothes. And those are pretty cool. How long have this all been going on? A few months, maybe. I throw my hands up in disbelief. How come I know nothing at all? Maybe because you're too busy with work and since I stay here every night. Duh, I scoff. But she's right, and I know it. I haven't been spending much time at the home lately. I have certainly spent time thinking about the kids, but not much with the kids. So, yeah, how would I know if I weren't there at all? Hey, didn't mean to hurt you, she adds, reading my expression. No, my mistake. I should have been here. Anyway, now that I'm here, I'm going to check out every single innovation of these geniuses. I walk out of the room, deciding to stop by every dorm and check out what they're up to. They're all a bunch of talented kiddos, I know, but didn't know they've already started showcasing it. The first dorm I go to, there are Nimmi, Lily, and Preeti. They're painting something. I walk closer and look at it. They again blow my mind off. Wow, I say. You like it? Preeti did it, Lily says. Yeah, she nods. There are a few more charts lying around, a few pencil sketches. I take one and look closely. It's a portrait of a woman holding a child. At the corner, it reads, Maria and me. Who drew this? I ask. Me, Nimi says. You three interested in drawing, huh? Yeah, they say in chorus. They're incredible. There's perfection in most of the drawings. Of course, there are a few clumsy drawings, but hey, I can't do a quarter of what they do. And also, perfection comes with practice, doesn't it? I stay a while watching them color, paint, draw. There's coordination in everything they do. They make a good team, I observe. I then walk to the next dorm. Two boys, Peter and Prem, are busy playing video games. One that I've bought for them, I recognize. Hey boys, I say. Hey, they say, not bothering to look up. What are you up to? Nothing much, just playing, Peter says. I wait for any of the three to add something, maybe about something spectacular that they've done recently, but they don't. How's school? I ask. No, not now, Shane says. Okay, bad question. What's new with you all, huh? They don't answer. Okay, maybe they haven't started to figure out anything much yet, I think. Okay, I leave you to your video games, I say. Not like they respond or something, and I leave the dorm. I walk by all the dorms, finding what's new with each of them, and an hour later, this is what I found. Nick has a very good talent in art. He's done very spectacular drawings, the meaning of which is still unclear to me. I've always been distant to artwork, and so I don't expect to understand them anyway. But as of what he explained, it's some pretty cool stuff. Great talent. Ria, Nikita, Priya, Monica have all done the dress designing Nina told me about. They were more appealing than I'd imagined and definitely prettier than the original tree itself. None of it was overdone, it was perfectly done. Embroidery, stonework, everything was neatly and perfectly done. So now here I am in Nina's room. Images of the kids' incredible work flashing before my eyes. I couldn't help but be astonished at the great talents of these kids. Everyone is less than the age of 16, and the talent they possess is unbelievable. Best thing is, they're not restricted here at the home to do what they're interested in. Maybe if they had been at home with their parents, they might have been restricted from doing these. Fortunately or unfortunately, they're here with a group of other kids of the same age figuring out their real interests. And really, how unlucky are their parents to have missed such treasures? They might all be great and famous personalities in the future. They definitely will be, I'm sure. But how sad of their parents that they wouldn't even know that it's their child out there, rocking the world. And I so desperately want to do something for them. Too bad I'm low on cash. But somehow I can gather some money. But how? How? I walk up and down the room. The kids deserve more in life. This is just a Christmas party. I should find a way to give them that. What do I do? Why is my mind not working? Boom! Something flashes in my mind. Fundraiser! Wow, exactly. Why didn't I think of it for so long? We could hold an exhibition, set these incredible works of the kids for display, and hold a fundraiser. How awesome will that be? Maybe people can even buy these things. Of course. Fantastic. When Nina walks into the room, I run over and tell her everything. Seriously, that might just do the trick. Finally, your brain has worked, huh? Looks like that, I say. Okay, now let's tell the kids to do whatever they can as soon as possible and make this happen. Yeah, go. Tell them all. When shall we have this? This weekend? What? No, that's too short a notice. Next weekend. We'll do it perfectly. The kids will have time to gather up more of their works and we could advertise as much as possible. Okay, cool. Tell Sister Maria. Okay. I tell Sister Maria about the fundraiser and she agrees to it. We decide to invite as many people as we can and I hope to get as many visitors as we can. It has to fetch us the money we require and I hope to God it does.